Okay, it looks like that's not going nowhere. I was like, when I make this next video, I'm gonna totally look different. No, you still see that thing. I had scratched my head and it hurt. So I don't know when or how or what I did, but I had scratched my head and I felt like, oh, this kind of really hurts. And I was like, oh gosh, what'd I do? But I didn't really pay attention because I was busy thinking about oh my gosh. So I slept at that truck stop. That truck stop's amazing. Those truckers are amazing. Or I picked a really good night, man. Those are really, really good truckers, man. They are some badass, amazing truckers. And it was like, oh gosh, they are so cool. And the companies are so fun. Like, it's a nice area. It's a good environment. Oh, it's fun. But, I don't know what I had done. You know, I think I did this when I was taking that shower and freaking out about that poor little baby. I had to throw my powers into that little baby. The baby had slipped having a shower at the beach and hit cement with their head. They hit cement with their head. They could, like, that could be a medical emergency. They could end up going to 911 or something. And I freaked out, and I just needed to make sure that baby was okay. I needed to stand there until the baby didn't cry, and I knew the baby felt happy and excited again. And I just refused to move till that baby wanted to play and be a silly baby again. I was so freaking out that I think I scratched myself because I had this fingernail that was kind of all jagged, and I hadn't cut my nails or anything. And I was like, gosh darn it. Right before training. Okay, I guess some superficial things you should think about, because I guess superficial isn't always necessarily an evil word, because looking decent as a girl is kind of important to a girl at their interview. Plus, once you start work, you don't want to scratch, although in a day or two it'll probably just look like whatever. But oh man. But I wasn't gonna let that baby down. But I think I ripped through my head. I think I ripped through my up here trying to throw out my powers and make sure my powers hurried up and hit the baby to help the baby. And I freaked out. And then I was taking a shower. I had been at the beach, so my skin was probably a little softer than usual. Dagnabbit. When you're a girl and you're like, I just really don't like this. I mean, I'm about to have a training something. There's going to be people. But, I wanted to make one more video before I go to my training. What do you think, children of God? I think I've disguised it as much as I can disguise that ugly thing. I just wanted children of God to understand that my car and my statues are an extension of my massive existence. So as long as you're good enough, that statue will come to life and talk to you and more. And now that I'm massive, my car is an extension of my existence. So my car will attack you. My car will bring you miracles, and my car will communicate with you. So if you want to look at the car and ask questions, you can get the answers. If you think you're a husband, but you're not sure and you're too embarrassed or you don't want to ask me, you can ask the car. And it's a psychological trick, because it's still me and my powers, but like, then you don't feel like you're talking directly to me or a God if you're embarrassed or something. Or yeah, if it's an embarrassing situation or an embarrassing topic, you can just look at my car, so you don't have to stare at my statue or me and be like, I'm too embarrassed to talk to you, literally, or your statue. What do I do? That's okay. You can look at my car, because my car is just an extension of my omnipresence and my powers. And you don't have to care. And you can just ask whatever questions you guys want to ask. I have stopped my fake smoking, so we can't do the power to smoke. I have stopped my God marijuana pot nature thing, so we can't do that. So, because I'm switching my working choices in life, as I want to travel around and figure out what kind of land I want to buy or what I want to do. And I want to travel around. I love the way people jump into an RV and they travel through the United States and stuff, and they find the best little cities, the best pretty little waterfalls. They find the best things they would want, and then they go and move there, and it's perfect. I want to travel around and figure out what I want to do. So I want a weird alternative existence right now while I figure out what I want to do. I don't know a lot of cities. I was murdered over and over and over by everything that can murder me and steal my powers. And because they could steal my Lord of the Rings level powers, they didn't care and wouldn't stop. So I didn't get to really live or exist or understand much. I was always just so gosh darn dead. So I don't really know anywhere except San Diego and Thousand Palms, because I had done those labor ready things to send the message of God, messages I needed to send. So, and I had a very limited knowledge of those two areas because I was always murdered and stuff. So I don't know much. But I really want to be happy and be able to exist down here to some extent. But I don't know where I'd want to go or what I'd want to do. And when I went on sales, so back when I was doing advertising sales, so back when I was getting advertisement sales for a really fun hotel directory. It was a really beautiful, fun hotel directory, but the advertising company was abusing me and gross, but I loved the advertising company. Well, they sent me to Kernville, and I realized that I was in love with Kernville. But like without a job, I don't know if I could live there or not. And I don't know if I'd want to live there or not, because it's not the country. It's like a cute little town. I think maybe I'd want to live in the country and maybe visit the town. But is there country to live in the country near Kernville? And then would I be able to have a livelihood near Kernville? See, so I want to travel around with this company after my training and see what I'd want to do, where I'd want to go, where I'd want to live, who I'd want to be. Because I haven't gotten to be since I've been down here. But I do want you guys to know that you can run to the car. So like, and if you couldn't find me too, you can run to the car. And then I want you guys to know there's no more power of the smoke. So I want to keep thinking about your daddy or your grandpa that smoked the pipe and how fun the older days were. I love to think about the past. When it's beautiful and good, it keeps us all remembering good people and good things and wanting us to keep going. But I can't, it doesn't fit into sales. And then the God marijuana pot does really help. The nature part does help my heart a lot, but it just doesn't fit into sales. So I just can't. But it doesn't mean I don't care about your cancer, and I still want to put my powers on your God nature pot marijuana for your cancer. It just doesn't fit into my job thing and running around stuff. So just still tell me. Tell me when you're going to do stuff like smoke, like just my queen, Bonnie, Annika, I'm going to have my pack of smokes, and I want the power of God on it. And just tell me, children of God, if it's not as good as when I was fake smoking. And I'll go sit with God's and we'll figure out how to make it as similar as possible to the overwhelming connection of my fake smoking. Because, the literal connection to my powers are rocking and rolling. You're not going to ever get that good unless you connect to me literally. But you should get enough power of God that it's still fun and exciting. And you should still get enough power, God, that it's fun to have cancer and smoke pot and go on fun trips and all kinds of fun stuff. So it should still work just fine, but just not as overwhelming as when I'm doing it literally with you guys. But that's okay. If I appreciate and I'm grateful for the times I got to hang out with everybody and bond with the fact that God makes things to be a blessing to everybody. It's fun to think about medicine and how God's helped humans create the first chemical mixtures that made a fun medicine that helped people. But I just got to switch my life to fit my job. We all fit our job into our lifestyle. So like when you travel in sales, your trunk becomes your office. And then when you have a secretary job, your desk becomes your beautiful decorated area. And when you drive for Lyft, you got to decorate the car a little bit to, feel like that psychology of happiness because you're stuck in the same looking car all the time. And, it's just part of like these human things people do. Sometimes I totally understood this human stuff, but sometimes I didn't. And sometimes I kind of got the human ins and outs of conversational, and sometimes I just totally didn't. Like, see, in marriage, me and my husbands are very alien. We're not human at all. So I thought it was so ridiculously fun that we were like a marriage, but like alien, weird, different. So sometimes I'll get it, sometimes I won't. But thankfully, most children of God know I'm not from here, so I'm going to be a little weird or odd all the time. But that way the rest of you would know that too. But once again, if you need anything and you see my car but you don't see me, that's okay. Because my car is there full of my powers and will talk to you, answer you, all kinds of stuff. So you guys will be okay. No matter what. Because you have my queen, the car. You have all of my houses and my omnipresent pieces in the houses that can act like just a nice, stable, secure mommy. And then if you get jiggy with it, this car is connected to getting jiggy with it and not exactly the perfect, stable, happy stuff. And now I need to get ready for my training. And if you guys needed to know anything else, children of God, write it down to ask me at about 4 p.m. So at about 4 p.m., children of God, ask me all the questions and we'll catch up. Okay.